Now then, so just before I get into the video quickly, I have got memberships active now, and I'm looking to add some more sort of perks. So if you're interested in getting involved in that, you can click join below the video, and there's a breakdown of what's available. And if you leave a comment sort of saying what things you'd be interested in, I'm open to pretty much anything. So yeah, if you can just chuck down any ideas, because obviously these things are for you as well. So for this video, I've been trying to mess about with spell Scoia'tael a bit because I think the deck's already kind of good, but it could do to be a little bit better. And so I thought I'd try out an Invigorate, which feels very weird to say because Invigorate is typically not very good, but the list it hasn't actually done too bad. So what we've got going on here is we have sort of almost like a hybrid between elves and spells. You know, we're running enough elves to trigger Find Death, and then we have enough spells to make a big god. But a lot of the problems that the sort of spell deck can run into is that your really high value cards that you need to kind of stick for a turn. So things like Seer, things like Sorceress, they're really susceptible to just very small damage pings, and they provide enough value on their own without the additional little bits here and there. So with Invigorate, what we can instead do is make them a little bit more likely to survive. Obviously, getting Sorceress boosted up is absolutely great, and we can also use it for carryover because ultimately the deck is just carryover, isn't it? It's getting God to be ridiculously big. So what we're sort of looking to do is win a round one, and we can be relatively flexible on that. You know, we can use Fan Death with a couple of elves. We can, if we're lucky, we can sort of get away with setting up Elven Seer with Sorceress and Whisperer and sort of swarm the board, get Ayla in to come out. And then in a round two, we're sort of looking to bleed quite short. And then a round three with Gods come down to sort of finish it off. I'm sure you'll have seen this sort of list before, but I haven't really used it a great deal this season. Well, I haven't used it at all until I made this list, to be honest. And I wasn't a big fan of the precision strike in it because we're already running into pseudo bricks because we need two of a special in deck for Simless, and so adding in the Sentinels and the fact that they're not amazing and we don't really care too much about dealing with like little damage pings. We have Karathi to deal with stuff. We got Kieran in there for locks. It didn't really feel right, so I thought I'd give Invigorate a try. So, as always, the list to all my deck lists is in the description, and we'll go into the games. Sorry, I was a little bit late starting the recording there. We just missed the start, but we're against Flurry. Yeah, I realised music was like way too loud. I've also gone like super thematic with the set. We got the Broccolon. Broccolon deck. I kept the proper Scoia'tael deck. We're going full respect here. So I think we probably want to drop back the Orbs. Okay, that's a good hand as any. And we do need to be mindful. We do want targets for Invigorate. There is the potential to use it twice. Definitely potential to use it twice, just to have some pretty good targets here. We obviously want Seer to stick, we want Whisperers to stick, we obviously want Sorcerers to get very tall, but Reckless Flurry is definitely a deck that doesn't want us to do that, so we might face a couple of problems, but we can see what we can get done. Definitely see what we can get done. So let's see what they discarded, but never mind. Never mind. So, I think we start with this and we'll boost up Sorceress, boost up a Seer. And we might as well throw it on God for the carryover. One Whisperer and probably both Whisperers. And honestly, I might just use the second one right now, because these are pretty much prime targets. Obviously we've got more elves to draw into, but no, maybe that's a little much. Might be a little bit much to do that. Alright, we can go nice and passive to start. We'll go Maxi. And that's looking pretty good, isn't it, really? We find an hero, we find F, we find Council, we don't draw into Ailerin. Orbs aren't going to get messed up, and we can just an hero for Forest Protector. Gasp for much better from the order of my deck there. Alright, nice and slow. Happy with that. So we'll pop down at Sorceress. It no doubt gets hit with a bomb, something like that. I would assume this has got bombs in there somewhere. Haddock will be showing his face. Don't know why I've spread out the rows actually. Doesn't really make sense to do. And it'll kind of depend how they respond to this. Yeah, also for that was not the best idea. Not the best idea. Okay, we'll play Seer, because then we can look to play Simless next turn. You know, get the orbs going. But yeah, that was a big mistake putting Sorceress on the back row. All right, we try again.
There is no place more beautiful.
They may just dip out at this point. See it as like we got enough out of them because they're Sunset Wanderers. I didn't actually see it was one of these two. Okay, yeah, they are dipping out. So this is probably the way we want to go with it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep, and then we can just play a Rebuke, just so it's in the graveyard for when our Forest Protector eventually shows his face. Kinda forgot Ailerin was coming. But is what it is. Is what it is. And so next spell we play, orbs are going to come out, so we need to keep that in mind. And we have an era Find F coming. Well, after these mulligans. And then the next was I think it was Council. Yeah, it was. Cool. So now I'm looking at this hand and I'm like, should have used the leader earlier, but it's okay. It works out. It works out. So what we'll do is we'll just go with fine here. And what we'll look to do is we'll play Whisperer. Hopefully it doesn't get answered. It probably does. And then we play Seer to complete it. He'll play a Waylay, which will then pull out the orbs. And then we can put one on the Seer. There's no chance for him to respond to that. Job's a good one. Job is a good one. And I will take this opportunity as well to say, as I've been saying for a long time, since the reveals, the cards for Scoia'tael are exactly what they needed. Orb and Simless and Seer are exactly what Scoia'tael needed, and I've been saying it for a long time, and I'm glad I've been justified. Also, I haven't even talked about it. I'm sorry about the blonde bimbo hair at the moment. Wanderers is out. Perfect. Yeah, at the moment, I needed to re-dye my hair, and Rhonda bleached it last night for me, and yeah, we haven't got around to actually sorting it out. So it's got bimbo at the moment. It'll be back to its usual glory soon. And this is looking pretty nice. This is looking pretty nice. Well, God's already at 7. We may be just an era for like a tempering or something. That's very slow. 17, they need 13 to catch up in a card, but yeah, I think that's fine. I mean, we were playing a bit of a risky game, bleeding here anyway, but I really wanted to shorten up the round a little bit, and we have the points. Either they commit a fair bit here, or we get out of it. I know that probably looked a little wild playing gonna bleed 2 cards down, but I think it was the right choice. We got the Wanderers out. We got the second Megascope out. We have a little bit of carryover with an orb left. And it kind of depends what they do here. Hopefully we can get last say. I just didn't want to go to a round 3 with fine in a long round, because Whisperers obviously lose a lot of value going into a very long round, because you just end up jamming up your board. Like, let's say you basically have to dedicate a full row to them, we only have room for like 4 units, and then if Waylay spawns one, there's 5, 6, 7. It's already looking very tight on the units. But it looks like this paid off, because they still need another 11. 12 actually. No, 13. 13 because Commando's still ticking up. Surely we don't go a card up out of this bleed. Surely not. There's no way. There's no way. We did play a rebuke, right? Yeah. Just double checking for the old Forest Protector. We'll probably look to play not too many specials. Have not too many specials in hand next turn, just so that we get full value out of our leader. Because, I mean, God's already in 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. It's pretty good. Axie is also very nice to see out. Very nice. Okay, I'm pretty happy with that bleed. Leader comes out, get Axie out. It's good stuff. It's good stuff. Alright, we lose some value. Yeah, I think maybe a mistake getting a little greedy with Invigorate. Maybe I should have just used it for that round 1. But it's okay. It's okay. We still get this to 5. We get this to 5. I'm assuming, looking at it, that it's not a Madoc version, because I think you wouldn't run gun slashes, you just run bombs instead. And the discard package pretty much confirms that. So yeah, we drop a couple of points off leader, but it is what it is. It is what it is. So God's going to be 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Pretty good. Pretty good. You get boost, you get boost, you get boost. What did they discard? They discarded Coral. That doesn't seem right. I can't think how good their hand must be that you would want to discard Coral there, but who am I to judge? Who am I? So yeah, we can set up the Sorcerer, we can chuck like a Tempering on it or something if we need to. Just need to be mindful that Orb of Insight will be coming out within 2 spells, so like an Anira into Forest Protector, for example, we'll get the Orb out. And it guarantees we have a target as well. Bit of an overreaction, I think. That's okay. That's okay for us. That's okay.
Must re-examine the manuscripts.
This sets up very nicely for the all. Oh, that's even better for the Orb of Insight. Yeah, we can go you into you, and kill you. And then that's going to get huge, so we just do a Forest Protector. And I feel a lot better about going tall after seeing that Axie out. There's probably a Karathi in there, but Karathi's Karathi, isn't it? It's ever present. It's going to come out at some point. And we'll see. I don't think they get greedy here. It doesn't make sense to get greedy, but you know, we can't Kieran it.
You ought to see the other beast.
Maybe the pendulum. I'm much better at that.
Fair enough. I don't think there's too much else we want to lock, because that's probably like Witcher, Quen, Karathi. Witcher, Quen, Karathi makes the most sense. So we can maybe wait on that. So we gain 2 points by using Kieran on... Oh no, but then they flip it instantly, don't they? So we never get the value there. Okay, let's just play this as a 6. And then we'll tempering onto Kieran, and we just pray there's no Axie, because Axie kind of Igni, sorry. Oh, it's a Junod as well. It's a Junod, and we can deny Junod's value. Oh, this is good. Yeah, this is good. Right, one of those is Junod. Perfect. Yeah, so we just deny him ever having a Junod target. Because, as I say, we're very susceptible to Igni here. Very susceptible to an Igni. Junod's just going to play as a 6. Yep.
You never know which contract's gonna kill.
Okay, so going Council into God is... So we lose 1 point on the Karathi because... we lose 1 point on the God because he's coming down 1 point lower, obviously. Because we haven't played another special, but this is almost certainly a Quen into a Bear Witcher, so we're getting 2 points on the Karathi. We get a better Karathi. So this is correct. Because that's going to play for 13, puts into 42, we get an 8 point Karathi. So it doesn't actually matter. It doesn't actually matter at all. But this is maximising points, I guess. It didn't matter in this game, but it maximises points at least. All about maximising points. So yeah, that would have been 32 to 35 the other way around, but some games it matters. Some games it matters. And the ever-present, were we ever going to get a video without relics going to show up? Actually, that's a lie. I literally built a deck that counters relics for my last video, and we didn't face relics once. So that was a lie, wasn't it? But what's going on here? Put back the orb for Simless. Since we have Council, I think we throw back the God. I think we care more about getting the instant points rather than the carryover from our leader. We don't want you. And we don't want the orb. Beautiful. We also have Saber, just because it basically plays us 5 points, and if we're in a game where we want to use Fire Death in round 1, it gives us that option. So you, and you. And I think I may have learnt my lesson from last game. I think we just use it twice. Obviously we're missing some pretty good targets in the sorceresses, but their deck's kind of low on control anyway. So I think I'd rather have the power this round. And I forgot to mention as well, with the Swordmasters, Saber will it's playing an elf, so you can use it to reduce the cooldown of Swordmaster by 1. So it works out. It works out. Yeah. I mean, Orb orb, sorry. Simulus at the moment actually can't be used, which is really sad. Really, really sad. I mean, there's no harm in chipping through the armour. Don't really want to play Whisperer. Don't really have the combo for it, do we, to be honest?
Your magic can't harm me. No magic can.
So we're never finding an Aeromancy. That's great. That's absolutely great, but with draws this good, I don't think we really care. Do we? Oh, this is an awkward one, because then we miss an error. And we probably miss the Seers. I think we actually need to shuffle this. Alright, a bit of a snap decision, but I think shuffling that's correct. I mean, we can use an orb this round if we really want to. I'd rather not. I'd really rather not. Tempting to use that, but don't think it's the one. Don't think it's the one.
Scoia'tael, fertile with magic and deadly.
Now we can just reduce the cooldown on that. And next spell we play will pull out Aileron, provided the Whisper isn't answered. Which I like the idea of. Definitely like the idea of that. Oh, we can deal with you. We can definitely deal with you.
It's a pity I can never finish.
Oh, we'll just transform one of you into a Deadeye.
Humans to the sea!
1 extra point. It's 1 extra point. See, if it wasn't for the neophytes, right, we wouldn't have been able to reset the Swordmaster and play the Rebuke in one turn, so we wouldn't have been able to kill the Selfie. All part of the plan, boys. All part of the plan. And in fairness, we can keep playing with Tempering if we want to. Right, so they are gonna have. They're gonna have Sabbath next turn. And with Sabbath, what they're going to play with Sabbath is probably just going to be a Witch's Apprentice. Witch's Apprentice comes down for 8. And we can play 8. What are the alternatives? What are the other things they could play? Like, Gankian's like a 9. Yeah, I think we just play into this.
There is no place more beautiful.
There's really no harm in playing that Tempering. I don't want to pass too soon, because we really haven't seen a great deal from him. Deciding. Just an Anira? Caranthea? What else decides? Oh, just a Maxi. Okay, okay.
Who may want death on you?
Just that deciding put the fear of God into me. I was trying to remember what has deciding, because all I could think was like Caranthea and an Aeromancy. And an Aeromancy usually means something big's coming, and Caranthea is obviously very scary. Alright. Okay. Not too bad, not too bad. Now let's hope that shuffle on the Maxi was worth it. I really hope that paid off. I mean, it got us an era, Karathi, we're near the top. Okay. We don't quite want God, though. Don't quite want God. But this is okay. This is okay, because we can, like, trigger Find Death if we want to use it this round to stop a bleed. Which I think we might need to. Don't be surprised if we need to. Just got things kind of in the wrong order, haven't we, really? All our elves, well, the good elves, are kind of sat at the bottom. And all the combo stuff with the old Whisperer isn't happening. One option is we Isengrim's Council. We have a 20% chance that it hits the Swordmaster. I think we cry a little bit if that happens, but maybe we just take that risk. I mean, we're gonna need Find Death this round anyway.
Do you hear?
I know it's Feign Death. I've had a couple of people comment on it, but it's just my accent. I'm not saying like fine like Fine. I'm saying like fine, but it like rolls. It's not good. I know it's not good. I know I'm speaking like an animal, but it is what it is. It is what it is. So I think what we do is we play the Whisperer, and then we go Council into hopefully a Seer, maybe a Sorceress. I guess we'll just find out, won't we? Guess we'll just find out.
The soil is fertile with magic, and dead to one.
And if they pass on us, we're obviously very happy.
It's a pity I can never finish.
Odd turn to choose to play that, since we kind of have a waylay coming, so maybe not the smartest, play. But it is what it is. It is what it is. So we'll Council. Hopefully we find a Seer. If we find a Sorceress, we don't mind. If we find Swordmaster, my hairline drops back quite a bit.
No mercy!
Sorceress is fine. Sorceress is absolutely fine. It's bombed on the right row. It's a dream. It's an absolute dream. With any luck, we can hit an orb off this as well. Go away to that. We'd probably end up crafting that anyway, so I think we kind of don't care. We just ignore it, let it do its thing. There's the orb. Beautiful. The smart thing for him to do here would probably be to pass, because we do have Simless into double orb coming, which won't proc the other orb, but it goes damn close. Right, maybe we do want to lock you up. Maybe we do. Now we have two Karathi targets. Maybe it was a mistake playing this quite yet. We'll go Simless. We'll go double orb. Right, so you're gonna come down for just an absolute ton of points. I'm not even counting that.
An elf, a sage conversed with an ape.
And it all carries over. And it all carries over. Since you play a spell, the floodgates open and all the orbs kind of go off. With any luck, we can find Seers, can't we? Seers, Sorceresses. I mean, God's already at 8. That's not too bad at all. Right, there's a Sorcerer. Sorcerer's a good sign. Not quite a rebuke. Okay, this is kind of good, because we can go Sorceress into Elven Seer. We need to bear in mind that we can't just Aneromancy here for the Seer, because it will just proc all of this and they'll just come flooding out. Which would be a bit of a problem. And for that reason we maybe go Forest Protector. Do we have a Tempering? Oh, graveyard. You do have a Tempering. But that is what it is. We're gonna go tall anyway. We kinda don't want to go any taller, do we? We're already gonna struggle to get the value. We don't get all the points from the vitality, so Yeah, really no reason to keep going with that. In terms of what we're pulling off in Aeromancy, the seer doesn't make all that much sense anymore. Koshi? Okay, we can answer a Koshi. We'll just go for a rebuke. Next one with Karathi. And we pray that's enough. I mean, we kind of hope that they go with Force of Nature here because value. They may think, he's got no more removal. We have one. And we get the extra points as well. So they have Koshi come in, they have 9 points from leader. Probably two very big things left. Which is incredibly vague, but I mean we've seen all the Crones out. We've seen Mamuna, we've seen Gurney. Probably like another Gankian. The Gankian and something. A Witch's Apprentice would actually be not too bad. Gankian number 7. Yeah. Alright, and let's just see what that last card is. Is it a 12? They have some form of removal, it's good enough. Yeah. Good stuff. Good stuff. Yeah, I think Invigorate's the way to go. Had it here first. So, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll catch you in the next one.